All right, physical science. So here's my next video. I'm going to leave the large can for you guys to analyze on your own. But this is going to be a video where I analyze both cans just so that we can see them side by side. So let's watch this video. Hopefully you've done the lab by now and you know the answer that the large can, these are tomato sauce cans, the large can seems to roll down the ramp faster with a higher velocity than the small can. Okay, so let me replay that. I'm going to pause it right when I take this up. I'm going to actually let the cans get a little separation so that I can maybe make this a little easier to analyze. This software will analyze more than one object on the same video, but it's really hard if they're overlapping. So I'm going to start them here. I go to my system button, I click scale, and I'm going to set my 1 meter scale. I'm not going to be super precise. So 1 meter, I click on origin, and set the origin there. I'm going to go with the direction of the motion. So I've got that along the ramp. Okay, then I'm going to click add, and I'm going to track the, let's do the large can first. Go there. I'm going to hit start auto tracking. This takes a little while. Again, this camera is doing the hard work for you. Instead of having to hand time things and hand measure things, it's analyzing frame by frame and trying to find that can. Again, you'll see the red line. Oops, it says it lost it. Move it back to it. The red line is going up. The blue line is just tracking in the motion in the kind of horizontal direction, or sorry, in the vertical direction. And since there's not much change, it's just kind of a flat line. We're actually going to turn that line off in a second. I'll just get down to the end of the ramp. Then I'll stop my tracking. All right, we'll stay there. I'm going to rewind. You'll find my blue dots where they were starting. I can get there. So I'm going to add a new object. Okay, this is my first one. So I click object. I can add a new object called object 2. If I click object 2, and I can hit track. I don't need to set up, don't need to set up any of my units again, or my system. So I'm going to make this a little smaller. We're going to see if it can follow the small cam. So then I click start auto tracking. Okay, so you're going to see a second set of lines on the graph. What we're interested in is that lime green line. We're going to be comparing it to the red line. Okay, so the red line was the big can, and the lime green line is the little can. And you can ignore those blue and purple lines. Again, that's the vertical direction, and since it's just rolling down the ramp, we don't have any of that type of velocity or motion. Okay. Oh. Again, kind of finicky, so you try your best. There we go. Now you see in the same 2 seconds, it's only made it about halfway down the ramp, whereas the other can has made it fully down the ramp. So we'll let it go to the end. Hopefully it doesn't lose it again. Oh, it lost it again. Now if it loses it, I think you can click the track and you can just go in and manually, there's a lot, you can click on the center of the can. It's a lot harder to do by hand. Then you have to put in a lot of judgment. I'm just manually clicking. Okay, now I think I've got enough data just for you guys to see. I'm going to change this. I can change what I'm graphing. I'm going to get rid of the Y, or the vertical positions. And you guys can see. So can 1 was the red one. That was the large can. And it covered a lot of distance very quickly. It took, 2 seconds to get there down the ramp. And can 2, the small can, took over 3 seconds to get down the ramp. And you can see by the steepness of those lines, the red one is much steeper, meaning it travels much faster. And so you can click, instead of measuring just their positions, you can turn on their velocities. So if I turn on X velocity and X2 velocity, those are the cans velocities, right? Big can and small can. Again, got a little bit noisy where I was trying to click by my hand, but you guys can see the velocities of the first can increased much more quickly, so it accelerated faster than the small can. So the small can was that purple velocity, and the large can was the pink velocity. And the higher the velocity, the faster it's going. So again, these videos are just meant for you guys to try to play with. So I'm going to leave all 3 of the can videos for you guys to examine, see if you can create the same graphs, see if you can get the auto tracker to work. If you're brave enough, try analyzing your own video. It'd be really, really great. You can screenshot. I'm not sure what the screenshot key is on a Chromebook, but I think there's probably, is there a download button? Let's see if this works. It's not letting me save. I think you would need to find the screenshot button. This is something else I'm going to have to research. But you could get a nice graph of velocities. You can make it bigger. You can get rid of this data table. And then I think you can screenshot this and post it into your lab results. That again, that's you'd be an all-star student, which maybe there's some of you out there. But let's just try and get used to it. See if you can get a motion track, and then we're going to be playing with this over the next couple weeks. So again, thanks for your patience. I'm really looking forward to this. This is really cool software. I wish I had it when I was back in high school. They made us, Mr. England made us just hand time with stopwatches, measure things with triple beam balances, and use all this old school stuff. So hopefully this is interesting. It might run a little slow on Chromebooks. So try your best with what we've got. We've already been making rulers. In chemistry class, I had to print off some rulers on my home printer. So I'm making do with what I have. Okay, so try your best, have fun, and ask questions. So if you get stuck on something, ask Mr. England, ask myself, and we will help you out. So good luck with this.